I think that people stress way too much about absolutely everything in life. People take life way too seriously. Like, most people's lives aren't actually that stressful, but they just make it like really stressful. I mean, I know this because I was a victim of this. Before, I used to make my life extremely stressful. I used to like be anxious about everything, worry about everything, and honestly, it just made my life like way worse. Obviously, I still do get anxious. Like, you can't fully control your emotions and everything, but I think people do just stress way too much. Like, people get stressed about the smallest things. Like, it's kind of ridiculous, to be honest. Like, they freak out at tiny things, and you might think you have a lot of stress going on in your life, but if you just take a step back and just realize, like, there is not, don't need to be stressing as much. Like, realistically, nothing is going to happen. Like, the things that you are worried about aren't actually going to affect you in the next like couple of years, or even probably couple of weeks. So for me, I mean, this might not be the same for you, but I just think that, like, if you are stressing this much about things that aren't actually going to affect you long term, there's not really that much point in stressing about them. Like, you're probably just overthinking everything way too much. And I mean, I don't blame everybody for this, because the modern sort of like life is really like, it will make you do this because it's really fast paced. If you're scrolling all the time and just like constantly having like dopamine and constantly having things that are distracting you from, well, basically what you want to be doing, it's going to make you more stressed. So for example, scrolling, it's one of the biggest distractions that is currently available. You basically are just wasting time frying your dopamine receptors, and this means you don't want to be doing anything else apart from scrolling. And honestly, it's terrible, because first of all, it's like you're not going to be doing what you actually want to be doing when you are scrolling, because like, people do, like, they feel like they want to scroll. Like, when they're scrolling, yeah, like, they're having fun, they're enjoying it, and people think, oh yeah, like, I just got home from work, I just got home from school, so I'll have a little scroll, like maybe just like 20 minutes, and then after that I'll actually do the things that I want to be doing. But I don't know, maybe it's the same, not the same for everybody else, but for me, I used to come home from school, scroll on TikTok for like 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, and just waste a ridiculous amount of time where I could have been using it to get closer to what I actually want to be doing. And first of all, you're wasting the time, as I said just now, but secondly, you're just messing up your emotional like regulation system, because once, like, each video is designed to spike your emotion, basically. Let me just, I think this is a bit too bright. Oh, a bit too dark. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, each video is designed to spike your emotion, because that's how they want to keep you on the app. That's how that's how TikTokers and Instagrammers want to keep your attention. They want to make you feel something. So you watch the video, you resonate with it, you click like, and basically they make more money. But doing this over and over and over again, like, you're going to be scrolling through 100 videos in like less than an hour. Actually way more than 100. But like, and if your emotions are being spiked every single video, no wonder you're going to be more stressed throughout your life, because if you just, your emotional like regulatory system, I don't really know about that much about the science, but it's going to be messing with you, basically. You're just not going to be able to function like as effectively as you could be doing, because if you keep having your emotions like, I don't know how to say it, but like, keep replaying in your mind and like keep popping up when you're scrolling, you're just going to be like, it's going to be worse when you actually have to deal with something that's really important. And also, after you scroll, after you have these horrible sessions just scrolling, I don't know about you, but I used to feel pretty bad. Like, I used to feel like, oh, I just wasted so much time, and I would feel like really guilty, and then that would make me not want to actually do work, and then once again I wouldn't be doing any work because I felt guilty now scrolling. And also, it does just give you like brain fog and just messes up your brain, right? Because you're probably thinking, well, not, you're probably not thinking, but once, like, after you scroll, you are just like your dopamine system is so messed up that you don't actually want to work, and you're just thinking about scrolling or thinking about doing something fun, like playing video games or like watching a film or something. So I don't know why I've just gone on a whole rant about scrolling, but it's not just about scrolling, it's about any sort of short, like instant gratification thing that gives you dopamine quickly. So that's stuff like scrolling, as I've said, playing video games, just like watching stuff, basically any like short form stimulation that you aren't really gaining anything from and you just lose out on time is what's gonna be messing you up, basically. I kind of take back what I said earlier. I said like lots of people don't have that much stress, but I think they do, and I have a few things to say about this. Firstly, I think, as I've said this whole video, short form content, all this stuff just makes it worse, okay? It just does make it worse. But also after, like when you have some sort of stressful event, if you just overthink about it, or like if you have a stressful event that's not like actually really stressful, if you're overthinking about it and not actually processing it logically, the emotion is just going to be keeping on coming, and just you're going to be having loops in your head where you go around and think, yeah, this is the worst thing in the world, or like, yeah, and you can't really control this. And I know it's absolutely awful, but there are things that you can do to help you basically stop having these massive overreactions to things that aren't actually that big of a deal. And that's my second point. The things that are stressful in your life probably are quite stressful for most people, but if you take a different perspective on it, you can kind of bypass the stress, because honestly, if you just think like, yeah, is this going to affect me in 1 year, 2 years, 1 month, 1 week? Like, is it going to affect you long term, or is it just something that you're worried about that actually isn't that big of a deal? Because most things, like, they're not really that big of a deal. I'll try and give you an example of something that's happened recently. Okay, say like, it's not really recent, but say in school, like you have a presentation or something, and you're really worried because you have to go in front of the class and you have to present something, and people are going to be watching you and probably judging you. Is it that big of a deal? Like, if you mess up, it's fine, because nobody's actually going to care in like a couple of weeks. Even if you did something extremely embarrassing, probably everybody's going to forget after a couple of weeks. So it's just not that big of a deal. I want to relate this back to the gym, working out, and sort of exercise. Firstly, I want to say exercise is an amazing way to reduce your stress levels, because I don't know how it scientifically works, but once you work out and like are consistent in working out, you will just like, I think it releases a bunch of energy and just makes you feel like much better, because you're using all this energy, and it just like regulates your emotions basically, and you can use it as a way to just as sort of like a release from everything. So if you are consistent with working out, it's going to be very beneficial for you. And also it kind of works the other way around, because if you want to build lots of muscle and you want to build a great physique, you're going to have to have lower stress levels, because if you are constantly at a high stress level, it's not really going to be that good for you. It's not really going to be good for your hormones, so you won't be able to build muscle as effectively. So basically, I want the takeaway of this video for you to be the takeaway of whatever. I want you to basically not stress about things. Just limit the amount you stress throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout your entire life, because there's hardly any actual point to stress. Yes, you should stress if you are in a really hard situation, like an actual situation that will affect your future. But if you're not, then there's no point in stressing, I'm going to be honest, because you're probably just doing worse for yourself and for the people around you that are involved in whatever you're stressing about, because if you're just not thinking logically. What I think you should be doing is thinking logically, and that's what I'm trying to work on this myself. I want to think logically like all the time, because obviously then I can make like rational decisions and actually get to where I want to be. Because if I'm constantly stressed and constantly anxious and constantly thinking and worrying about everything, I'm never actually going to be able to do the things that will project or no, propel me towards where I want to go. And that's the same for you. Like if you want to build muscle, if you want to build a good physique, then you're not going to be able to if you're constantly stressed, because you're not actually going to do the right actions. And that's the same if you're like constantly stressed about like what program you're doing, then you're not actually going to stick to the correct things that will get you to where you want to be. Yeah, that's honestly all I really have to say. Try not to stress and try to just enjoy your life, because life is short and stress is not good. And stress actually lowers your life expectancy anyway, so yeah. But yeah, I hope you have a great day. I do have coaching, fitness coaching down the link in the description, but obviously if you're not interested in that, then don't click on the link. But yeah, have a great day and subscribe if you want to. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.